Hello lovely beans, welcome to my November 2020 bullet journal setup. In case this is your first time on my channel, my name is Erin and I make one of these bullet journal videos every month, so if that's the kind of thing that you're into, do consider sticking around. I'm going for a kind of a coffee theme for November, and so I'm just going to show you quickly what I'm going to use to set up. I've got some washi tape, I've used these before, I believe they're just from Officeworks in Australia. I have these 3 Faber-Castell Pitt Artist brush pens. I have them in the colours. Actually, I didn't end up using the black one. But the other 2 are Walnut Brown 177 and Beige Red 132. They are actually new, so I'm just going to quickly add them to my swatch sheet at the back of my journal, because I like to just be able to see what they look like on the paper sometimes when I'm deciding what I'm going to do for a new setup. I feel like they're a very early 2000s colour scheme. Also have a white gel pen. This one's from Uniball. I have my handy dandy Sharpie pen, which is my go-to because it doesn't smudge ever. It ghosts a little bit through the page, but I'm using a Leuchtturm 1917 notebook, so that's kind of to be expected. I've got some correction tape, although I didn't need it for this setup, go me. And I also have some glue tape. This one's from Kmart. If you're after some glue tape, you can get them in a 2-pack, and they are refillable as well, which is always very nice. And here is the piece de resistance for this bullet journal setup. I have these stickers from Sassy Pigeon HQ. Thank you so much, Beck, for sending me these. I am obsessed. So they are coffee themed. We've got some cute little coffee cups. We've got some takeaway coffee cups, which are my favorite, and these awesome coffee rings, like when you put your coffee down on the table. There were also some with some swears on, but I'm not going to include them in the video because I don't want to get demonetized. I have this handmade scrap paper bundle that I got from Lincraft a couple of months ago. This is actually my first time using it, so I dug through that and I just pulled out anything that made me think of coffee shops or coffee packaging in the supermarket or anything that could be vaguely coffee colored. And I'm going to use that to collage together my first page. I also have this black tissue paper that came with a skincare order. I used a little bit of pink tissue paper in my October setup and I really liked it, so I'm kind of continuing that on here because it's just a cool texture. It almost sort of looks like velvet once it's in your book. I'm just going to tear off a top and a bottom section to go on this left side cover page here, trim it to size so that it will fit across the page very nicely, and then it's trial and error time. So I'm just going to play with the arrangement of these bits of paper. This is a large part of this collaging, scrapbooking style of bullet journaling that I'm so into, is just choosing where you're going to place your colors and balance them out and everything. I love it because there's really no artistic ability required to make a setup like this. You literally just get bits of paper and stick them in the book, and then it looks like you tried a lot harder than you did. And of course I've got my giant cup of tea because as much as this is a coffee-themed bullet journal layout, I actually don't drink coffee. I just could never get into it. I tried really hard, actually. When I was in high school, I desperately wanted to be like Gilmore Girls. I wanted to be Lorelai so bad, but yeah, I just couldn't do it. Not into the flavor of coffee, but that's not to say that coffee isn't a valid thing, because I know a lot of people really enjoy their morning coffee and their afternoon coffee and their evening coffee. I'm not here to judge. Are you a coffee drinker, or do you prefer tea or hot chocolate? Let me know what your hot beverage of choice is in the comments down below. Let's have a little chat. I'd like to hear from you. So once I've got my various textures, colors going on in the center of the page, I thought I'd get the black down here. There's a little bit of a gap at the top that I decided to fill with the washi tape in the end, which is handy. Washi tape is like, as far as bullet journaling is concerned, the thing that holds together the force, you know. You can just use it to fill in spots and cover mistakes and balance everything out. It's the best. So I popped a little bit of the starry option there, and I'm just going to pop this black kind of border now, I guess, top and bottom space filler. It's a little bit tricky to get the glue tape onto the tissue paper, but just hold it taut and you'll be right. And I'm using this star-shaped piece to pop my November title on. That's going to go right in the middle and cover those gaps in the middle of the page. Because this paper is textured, it's a little bit tricky to write on, so I found I needed to go over my lines a couple of times. And then once I had it stuck down, I realized I'd popped my November title a little too high up the star, so I added a 2020 just to balance it out. And I think it's really cute. Definitely giving me coffee shop vibes. If you live in Australia, you'll know what I mean when I say this could be Gloria Jean's branding. On the facing page is going to be my calendar. Sometimes I like my calendar to cover both pages. Sometimes I like to have a title page, not always, depending on how much effort I feel like putting in, if we're being totally honest. I don't have much going on in November, so I decided that I would make my title page and single page calendar situation. I've done this a lot in the past, so this is definitely nothing groundbreaking. I had to take the book out of the Choose to Do planner cover that I have it in because I'm getting close to the end of this notebook, which is great because we're getting close to the end of the year and I want to start a new one for next year. But it does make drawing a straight line freehand like this, or relatively straight line, it's not perfect, quite tricky. I had to take my Fitbit off as well because it was getting in the way. I don't usually wear it on the right, but I got sunburnt on a shoot recently and now I have a watch tan, so I'm trying to wear it on my right until the watch tan kind of evens out. So the boxes for this calendar are 3.5 spaces wide, which is a little bit hard to do because you do have to draw a line down in the middle of 2 dots when you're setting it up. And I believe they are 4 or maybe 5 boxes tall. Not all bullet journals come with the same number of dots on the page though, so do make sure that you measure yours out and plan it accordingly so that it fits well on the amount of dottage that you have available to you. I went in with this pink marker. I know it calls itself like red beige, but I'm going to go with pink to pop a little line at the top to add my day of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or actually the abbreviation, Mun, Wed, Chew. Wed, Chew? No, Mun, Chew, Wed. There we go. And then I filled in the spaces in between each of the day boxes with the brown pen so that I could go back in with the white gel pen and add my numbers in that way. And then all we need to do is decorate the top and the bottom of the page a little bit, tie everything in together, and then we can move on to the next page. This has already gotten pretty thick because of so many bits of paper, and then that handmade paper is not, thin like the tissue paper either. So I thought I'd go in with the washi tape just to keep things from getting too bulky. Because it's so thin, it barely makes a difference to the thickness of your book when you've got washi tape in there. Just a little bit at the top and the bottom of each of them so I can keep that textural variation going with the stars and the solid color and then all the patterns on the facing page. And this is the point where I realized I hadn't used any of my coffee stickers yet, and I was like, no! So I'm going back in, I'm going to add a little bit, just one on this side to cover up a little spot, and one in the bottom left corner of the calendar as well, just to make sure that we've got a little bit of coffee representation on each page. Well, on most pages. There are some that I don't like to decorate as much as others. We're really changing things up. If you have been following my bullet journaling videos for the last couple of years at all, this is a completely different approach to habit tracking and gratitude logging for me. I've seen this kind of style on Instagram and on some people's YouTube videos in the past, and I've always been like, oh, that looks like a lot of work to set up and I'm not really sure if that would work for me. But you know what? I've come around to it. I'm going to give it a go this month. So I've got 2 separate trackers here. One is for habits and the other is for skincare. I have been using the same skincare routine over and over quite a lot lately, but my skin's been getting really sensitive. I don't know if it's because of the changing of the seasons or whatever. So I was doing like an active in the morning and an active at night, and I have 4 actives that I was sort of cycling through. And it was working really well for a while there, but my skin's just got to a point where it's like, too much, Erin, please calm down. So I'm calming down. So I'm going to log what's going on here with the skincare and with my normal habits that I like to track. It's spreading across the page through the center of the page, and I'm keeping my gratitude log over on the left side. Don't need a great deal of room for that because I'm only logging one that's not a word, only logging one grateful item, I guess, each day. So like just a 1-word entry. I found I was ignoring my gratitude log this year when I was trying to get myself to write a whole sentence for each one. So just 1 word for the day seems a lot easier because then I can just be like, laziness, I'm grateful for a lazy day, or, preparation, or rain, or whatever it is. It's storming at the moment in my city and it's so nice, but I'm sorry if you can hear thunder in the background. I'm hoping the microphone won't pick that up because it's pointed at my face. This is a busy page, so I'm not going to go too crazy with the decoration. I'm just adding a bit of washi tape to mark out the left side next to the gratitude log. I was really a bit all over the place setting this one up because I needed to cut my fingernails. They were getting really long and sort of eating into my hand and doing lots of little numbers and lots of little lines. If you've ever had long nails and done a lot of handwriting at the same time, you'll know what I mean, where your nails are just digging into your palm and it's not the most fun thing in the world. Usually I like to erase my pencil before I go in with a pen, but I wasn't sure I'd remember what habits I wanted to track, so I'm popping down a title over here, just a brown line to demarcate the skincare tracker from the regular habit tracker. Wasn't going too gung-ho on the hand lettering this time either, because I kind of was just like, let's just get the thing done so that I can start using it, because there are some things I need to add into November for planning purposes, and I didn't have anywhere to write them yet except for my future log, and I'm actually really bad at looking back at my future log, so I was like, let's just get this done. So my habits here are up by 7, 3 meals, exercise, floss, learn and make, and the skincare, I've got vitamin C, BHA, retinol, azelaic acid, and the Banisher 2.0. You girls working on some collagen regeneration. It was my birthday last month and I turned 33, so I am definitely in need of some collagen. Bring back my collagen. I wanted to do another little border kind of situation on the right side at the bottom, so I'm going to cut into this coffee ring sticker so that I can pop it in this corner and just round things out there. So it's not interfering with the design at all, but it's bringing back my coffee element, which I like. I like it a lot. I swear every time I pick up my bullet journal this month, I'm going to want to go straight to my kitchen and make myself a cup of tea. Sorry about that, guys. My camera stops recording after half an hour and I was so into my layout that I didn't notice at first, but I just stuck some more of that paper at the bottom. There was one bit that was heart-shaped and I cut that through the middle so that when I fold the book, it doesn't kind of inhibit the folding of the book. And now I'm onto my spending tracker spread. This is the same as always, so feel free to skip over this with those handy dandy arrow keys if this is something you've seen me do 100 bajillion times. I've got 2 pages with a very simple 3-column table. One is for the item. For everything that I spend, I write down in here. So the first one is the item, write down what I bought. The second is the cost, how much it cost me. And the third one is category, whether it's a living expense or a business expense or, you know, groceries or car related. I have everything categorized so that at the end of the month I can go through and be like, well, these are things I had to buy and these are things that I chose to buy but probably could have lived without. And it keeps me in line a little bit so that next month, once I tally it all up and I add it into my overall like spending for the year tracker, I can see where I could have saved money, and it motivates me a little bit more when I get into the next month and I go to buy something and I'm like, oh, but then I have to write it in my spending tracker and then it has to go in the overall log, and then I'll be able to see that I spent like $1,000 on skincare this year. But then I enjoy it, so it's okay, right? I don't know. I actually don't know how much I've spent on skincare this year. I don't think it's $1,000 at all. It won't be anywhere near that. But, you know, I've had my moments. Who hasn't had their moments working on their skin or similar something about themselves in these quarantine-y strange times? Bringing back my brown and pink elements here, I've gone in with the brush pen for my heading. And now we're on to the weeklies. I don't use dailies, I just do weeklies, and this setup is so cute. I haven't done sort of vertical boxes in a while. I usually will end up with something a bit uneven because I have things on weekends, and so I don't like to do half the space for a Saturday and a Sunday, whereas most people that's adequate, because if you work a day job, then those are your chill days. A day job, no, like a normal job, you know, an office job or whatever. I work from home and have done for the past 8 years, and a lot of my work happens on the weekend, so usually I give myself a lot of space there. But this year, November is just looking quiet, so I can get away with a little bit less room for those ones, which is good because it's given me this nice balanced layout. And this is where my Sassy Pigeon HQ coffee stickers are really going to shine and have their moment, is on these weeklies. And I'm excited about it because I didn't set up all of my weeklies for this video. I've still got a couple more to do, and I've still got so many more stickers, and I'm excited to play with it. Like the little coffee cup ones that have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday on them already. I'm definitely going to be using those soon. But for now, I've got my little rings at the top, and I thought it would be cute if I put the number of each day into the little rings. I'm starting from the 2nd because the 1st of November I actually had in my October setup because it just made more sense to finish the week that way. Adding a little alternate color drop shadow. One thing I find really helps to just lift any layout, if you're not sure what to do, is to just add a border all the way around the outside of it. I think it works really well. And I wouldn't usually show you 2 weeklies, but I'm going to use a different sticker for this one. So I'm going to go ahead and set up my next weekly as well. And this time I'm going to use those cute takeaway cup stickers instead of the ring ones, because I've kind of used all of the little round ring ones already. The little round ring ones, that's hard to say. I know takeaway coffee cups are not the most environmentally friendly thing in the world, but we also can't really do keep cups at the moment because of COVID restrictions and hygiene. And I just think these are really adorable takeaway cup stickers, but do drink your coffee at home where you can, I guess, if you can get away with it. I'm going for this medium-sized one, and I'm just going to stick one coffee cup at the top of every column. Just going to go through the colors the way they were on the page, because I think the little rainbow setup that is the way that it comes is already so cute, going from pink to peach to a light blue to a dark blue to a mint green, and then I'm going back to the pink because that's all of the colors. There's only 5 there. And this time, instead of popping the number in the middle of a circle, because I don't have a circle, I'm just going to add it to the space at the bottom of the takeaway cup. And look how cute this spread is. I'm obsessed. Not even kidding. I'm obsessed. And here is the final flip through for November 2020. I hope you've enjoyed getting ready for the month of November with me. I have a couple of other videos with regard to bullet journaling on my channel as well. Some more monthly setups, some like tips for beginner bullet journalers, stuff like that. So do check out my bullet journaling playlist if you would like to. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of this kind of stuff, and I will catch you again in another bullet journaling plan with me video for December. Oh my gosh, how is it nearly December? Coming very soon. Hope you're keeping safe and well wherever you are in the world. I'm thinking of you. Have a wonderful month of November. Bye!